All right, so we talked about, oh man. I muted it. There we go. We talked about the fact that we were factoring. We started yesterday. Anytime you have a polynomial, it could be a monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomial, anything more than 3 terms. But if the biggest or the largest exponent on any term is the number 2, it is considered what kind of, not a trinomial. It is considered what kind of function if the exponent is the number 2. You wrote it in your notes yesterday. What kind of function is that? You wrote it in your notes yesterday. So how about you look at your notes and tell me what you wrote? If the largest exponent is the number 2, what's up? Quadratic, good. One person wrote it, awesome. It is a quadratic function because the exponent is 2, because the largest exponent is 2. If it was the exponent of 3, that would be a different story, okay? Now, because this is still, once again, 3 terms, this is considered what? A trinomial. Now, before class got started, Colton, you pointed something out. The biggest difference from yesterday to today. What is that difference? We now have a number for A. So A is no longer what number? If there wasn't a number here, what number would it be? A 1. So now A is greater than the number 1, meaning it can be 2, 3, 4. So we're going to see what we're supposed to do whenever it is a number larger than 1, whenever it's not a 1. Now we're going to use a method, and that method is, we call it kidnap. Okay, we call it kidnap. So just think about all the things that are involved when you kidnap somebody. So we're about to kidnap a number. Let me make this brighter. Hold on. Not yet. All right, here we go. So we're going to take that A, because it's there, we're going to take it and we're going to kidnap it. Okay, I'm going to move it to the back. When I say that we're going to kidnap it, what I'm telling you to do is to multiply A times C. We're going to put those together. We're kidnapping A, moving it towards C. And now it's too bright. Hold it. There we go. No, it was too bright. Couldn't see the numbers. Kidnap. When you kidnap, you're multiplying A times C, and it changes the whole trinomial. That way you no longer have a number in front of the x squared. So it ends up looking similar to what we were doing yesterday. And now we have x squared plus bx plus whatever you get from multiplying A times C. Okay. And then the last number always falls to the what? To the top. So whatever you get whenever you multiply these two, that's the number that you're going to put here at the top, A times C. The last number will always fall to the top. Which one goes to the bottom? B. B bottom. Okay. And then the same thing. You solve your puzzle, you solve the diamond, and you put those into your into your binomial. But there will be another small thing that we have to change as well to the process. But for now, I need you to know that we're going to multiply the first with the last. Ready? Okay, the rest of the process, I'm just going to show you with actual examples. Let's start with example 1. Okay, so first step is always to double check to see if there is a greatest common factor, to see if there is an X on every term, which there isn't, and if there's a number on every term, which there is, but there isn't, in this case, there isn't a number that goes into all of them. Okay, so we're going to start factoring. Here we go. So You grab that first number, you grab your A, and you kidnap it. What does it mean to kidnap? You take it away. We're multiplying 7 times 4. That changes the whole equation to x squared plus 29x. And what is 7 times 4? Plus 28. Okay? Any questions so far? All I've done is taken that first number, multiplied it by the last, and it changed that last number to 28. Okay? From there, you still set up your diamond the same way. So that 28, last number falls to the top. So 28 at the top. What goes in the bottom? 29. Okay? Now give me two numbers that multiply to get 28, but add to get 29. 1 times 28. They're both what? Positive numbers. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a plus sign on it. 1 times 28 is 28. 1 plus 28 is 29. What do I do with those numbers? You put them into your, no, this is what you get from the calculator. Put them in your binomial. You split apart that x squared. Because we are working with the variable x, you split it, x and x. The first answer to my diamond, when I solved that puzzle, when I solved that diamond, was +1. So the first binomial is x plus 1. The second answer was +28. So the second binomial, x plus 28. Now, what happens with all good kidnappings? No, that's not a good kidnapping. Why do you kidnap somebody in the first place? You don't kidnap somebody to sell the organs. What kind of movies have you been watching? In a typical, we're not talking about a Mexico kidnapping. In a typical kidnapping, what's supposed to happen? Why would somebody kidnap somebody? Ransom, thank you. They want some money. So after you get your money, let's say we kidnap Cesar and Cesar gets annoying. We eventually want to give Cesar what? Back. Now, which number would you think was considered to be Cesar? 7 or the 4? 7. We're going to divide. We're going to part ways with Cesar after getting our money. Now, obviously, because Cesar's so annoying, we're probably not going to ask for very much, right? So we're going to divide. We're going to part ways with Cesar. We're going to divide that 7. We're going to divide the number that we kidnapped. And and this creates a what? It creates a fraction. So what do you do with every fraction in algebra? You simplify. So I'm going to put a little star here. You simplify. Simplify if possible. Now, type in 1 divided by 7 in your calculator and see what happens. It stays the same. It stays the same. Now, because it did stay the same, what we're going to do is something that we call bottoms up. Okay, look at step 5. It says bottoms up. You're going to bring A up in the front of X if a decimal is created. If you type in your calculator 1 divided by 7, it'll still give you a decimal. Or if you put math enter, the fraction would stay the same. So I'm going to grab that bottom number, bottoms up. Think about that song, bottoms up, and move it to the top. Move the bottom number to the top. And this creates a new binomial, 7x plus 1. Okay? Now, what happens when I divide 28 divided by 7? 28 divided by 7 is 4. So I'm going to bring that whole number down. So x plus 4. And now we're done. Okay, we've collected our ransom. We've given the annoying kid back. And there's my answer. So they only got $4 back. That's all Cesar was worth. He's annoying. Cheap. So yeah, ready? All right, let's try the next one. As always, I've been trying to include the wording that you would see on the STAR test. The wording would be something similar to write an expression equivalent to. Now, you know that you have to factor, you know that you have to kidnap, Because of what? What do we see? Why do we know we have to kidnap? Because there's a number in front of our squared term. Yesterday, I kept repeating over and over. Look to see if there is a number, check to see if there's a number in front of your squared term. And there is. So what do I do with this number here? By doing what? 3 times negative 15. We kidnap, right? We're gonna kidnap Ibiaseta this time. So that's negative $15. Y squared plus 4y. And what is 3 times negative 15? Negative 45. It's negative. It's a big negative. So you grab, last number falls to the top. Last number always falls, tips over, falls to the top. So negative 45 at the top. What goes at the bottom? 4. All right, solve that diamond. Tell me what 2 numbers multiply to get you 45, negative 45, but they add to get positive 4. What'd you say? 9 and negative 5. It's not a race. Not a race. 9 times shut up. 9 times negative 5, and I did say that on video. So 9 times negative 5 is negative 45. 9 minus 5 is 4. Now what do? Now that we've collected the ransom, put it back into your binomial. Now what is going to be at the front of my binomial? A y. Because the first answer is a positive 9, y plus 9. And y minus 5. All right, we've collected our money. We've gotten our answers. Now what do we got to do? Divide, part ways, give the kid back. Give the annoying little booger back, right? Divide by 3. Divide by the number that you kidnapped in the first place. Now, if I divide 9 divided by 3, what do I get? 3. So I simply bring the whole number down, y plus 3. But if I try negative 5 divided by 3 in my calculator, what happens? You get a decimal. Let's try it here. That way people watching this video, people from home are watching this, video, second quit. Alpha y equals, type in negative 5 over 3. And what happens? It's still a fraction. If I try negative 5 divided by 3 the old school way, you get a decimal. So what do we got to do? Bottoms up. You grab that bottom number, move it to the top. Bottoms up. And it becomes what? Next one. This time we're going to kidnap Colton. I don't know. I'm just randomly calling people out. We're going to kidnap Colton. Yeah. We got to get you. We got to get back. Oh, man. Okay, so. Don't say that on my video. So we're going to kidnap Colton. 2 times 3. It changes our equation to x squared minus 7x. And 2 times 3 is? See, that's why we're kidnapping Colton, because he don't know what 2 times 3 is. What's 2 times 3? Times. I heard somebody say 5. So last number falls to the top. And what number on the bottom? Negative 7. All right, give me 2 numbers and multiply to get 6, but add to get negative 7. Okay, negative 1, negative 6. Now, what do I do with those numbers? Put them in my binomial. So we're going to split. What variable are we working with? So the first binomial is going to be what? X minus 1. And then the second one's going to be what? Minus 6. Now, are we done here? No, because we did kidnap Colton. Colton got annoying, so now we got to what? Divide, part ways with Colton, give him back. Divide by which number? 2. Divide by the number that you circled. Now, if I divide 1 divided by 2, does it change? No. If I type it in the old school way, it'll give me a decimal. So what do we got to do? Bottoms up, bottoms up. Have y'all not heard that song? Man, how old am I? So 2x minus, wow, thanks for that comment. That's why you're the one that got kidnapped. And 6 divided by 2 is what? I think you're sucking up. 6 divided by 2 is what? Thank you. 3. Do what? Boy, he said he's still more expensive. Next, ready? All right, this time we're gonna kidnap Tessa. I don't know. There's only 2 to pick from, so here we go. Hey, she's gonna be worth a lot. Look, 6 times a positive 5. You go, girl.
It's because she's a girl.
Yep. So 6 times 5. First thing we do, kidnap. 6 times 5 is 30. So it becomes x squared minus 13x plus 30. Last number, what happens to the last number? Last number falls to the top. And then what number goes in the bottom? All right, let's solve the crime, solve the puzzle. -10, -3. -10, -3. So now we have to do what? Put it into our, what variable are we working with? X minus 10, x minus 3. The -10, -3. All right, since we kidnapped somebody, eventually we got to give them back. So we're dividing, we're parting ways with that kid, who was our kid? So you don't know that. She might make the best box of macaroni. So what are we dividing? Which number? 6. So we're going to divide by 6. What happens? Okay, this one's going to be a little different. This one's going to be a little different. What happens is if I take 10 divided by 6? Let's see. Let's watch. 10 over 6. My bad. -10. Hold on, -10. Notice how that fraction got smaller, but it's still a fraction. So what we're going to do with this one is we are going to rewrite with the new fraction. So this one becomes x minus 5 over 3. But because it is still a fraction, what must I do? Bottoms up. Bring that 3 to the top. That's why I tell you, you have to simplify every fraction if possible, and it becomes 3x minus 5. Bottom number rises to the top. Okay? Now, what happens when we divide -3 divided by 6? It gives you -1/2. Since it is still a fraction, what do we need to do? Bottoms up. Bring that 2 in front of x. And the second binomial becomes what? -1. Oh, Lord, hush. Please stop saying those things on my video. So 3x times 5, 3x minus 5 times 2x minus 1. Simplify, simplify. So I'm going to write that again. Simplify. We simplified. 10 over 6 became 5 over 3. Because it is still a fraction, we still had to do what? Bottoms up. Ready? All right. Next one. 5x squared plus 16x plus 3. We're going to kidnap Jesus this time. Yes, it is messed up. But notice, what do we have this time? F of x. So what do you think our answer choices are going to include? F of x. Does that change what we're going to do? Absolutely not. They're just throwing that in there to confuse us. So what number are we kidnapping? 5. So when we kidnap, what are we actually doing? So 5 times 3, we're multiplying. We're not 15, we are multiplying. So that changes to x squared plus 16x, and 5 times 3 is 15. All right, now last number falls to the top. Thank you for participating. And middle number goes where? All right, now what two numbers? What are my answers? Good, 15 times 1. 15 times 1 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. If you can't do it in your head, make sure you're using your calculator tricks that we've learned the last couple of days. Now we got to split it into our what? Binomial. So what variable are we working with? X and X. Because that 15 is positive, what's my first binomial? X plus 15. Because my second number is also positive, it becomes what? X plus 1. Now, after we get our money, what do we do with that kid? We sell what? We already sold him. We got the money. We give them back. If we're honest crooks, we're going to give them back, right? We divide, we part ways with the kid. Now, what happens if you divide 15 divided by 5? X plus 3. Get a whole number. What about 1 divided by 5? It stays the same. So what do? Bottoms up. Move the bottom number to the top. And the second binomial becomes plus 1. Positive numbers. He was worth something, right? Now, because the original equation has f of x, what do you think we're going to have to include with our answer? The f of x. That was your question? So, f of x. Yes. Yeah.
No.
I gave y'all plenty of time. So, take the number in the front of x, you kidnap it. What does it mean to kidnap?
You put it behind you multiply.
You multiply. Okay. Now that changes your equation, your expression to x squared plus 13x plus what? All right. Now, last number falls to the, and what number goes in the bottom? All right. What two answers does that give us? Both positive. Now, what do I do with those answers? I put them into my binomial. Now, what variable are we working with? Okay. And the first binomial is going to be what? Not 4, not plus 4. Say it all together. X plus 4. Good. And the second one? X plus 9. Are we done? No, we have to divide by 3. We kidnapped. Remember, if you kidnap, you got to give the kid back. Hopefully. All right. So what happens if we divide 4 divided by 3? Stays the same. So what do we got to do? Bottoms up. And that first binomial changes and turns into what? Okay. What about the next one? 9 divided by 3 becomes x plus 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. If it's a whole number, you simply bring it down. Now, because my original equation has the f of x, what do you think is going to be in the answer choice? F of x. And we're writing it in just to get used to the idea of actually seeing it there. That doesn't mean that it changes anything. It doesn't change the process, nothing like that. They just do it to throw you off. Got it? Last one. Ready? Yeah. Okay. So kidnap. There's a number in front of x squared. That means we have to kidnap. So I'm going to grab that number in the front, multiply by the one in the back. 3 times 6 changes the equation to x squared minus 11x and what? Plus what? 18. Last number falls to the top. Oh, that's too high. All right. And what number goes in the bottom? Negative 11. All right. Now we're going to wait on Avisar so he can tell us what the answers to this one is. That way he could practice it. Yeah, he's trying. In the meantime,
I got it.
You got it? All
Yeah, I
right.
got it.
Okay.
It's
It shouldn't be, hold on. Shouldn't be decimals. You don't pick decimals.
Oh my God.
On the sum, then what? Where you at? Where's the negative 11? And where's the negative 11? If you're looking for the negative 11 there. That's all right. It's a mistake everybody makes. That's why we have to address it. So it gives you -9, -2. So the first binomial is going to be what? X
X minus 2, 9.
and X minus 2. Now, since we did kidnap, now we have to do what? Divide, give the kid back. We're going to divide by 3. Now, -9 divided by 3 gives us -3. So X minus 3. If it gives you a whole number, bring it down. But what about -2 divided by 3? It's going to give you a decimal. So you have to do what? Bottoms up. And it becomes 3x minus 2. Just now, this original equation doesn't have f of x, so I'm not going to ask you to do it. You can. Just remember, some of them do simplify. The fraction changes, so it would help if you type these into alpha y equals instead, okay? All right, glue this into 100.